has always been a belief that after death there was a heaven and hell awaiting us, but in recent years, many have begun to question this belief. In recent years, there have been many testimonies of people who have died and come back to life, saying that they have seen a tunnel of light in which they met a family member or a being of light. But what is the truth in this? What really happens when we leave this life? Do we free ourselves, or do we remain in the deception? It seems that death does not end the control and manipulation. The beliefs we have here, we take them to the other side. And also the guilt, the fear, the attachments. The British politician Simon Parkes, due to his Illuminati background, had knowledge that was unknown to most of the population. He unveiled incredible hidden truths to the world to the disapproval of some of the ruling elite. He always stated that both Republicans and Democrats are run by a higher, non-human power. It is not the politicians who actually rule the world, even if they believe so. Parkes describes reptilians as arrogant beings who believe they have the right to dominate others, and they are addicted to rituals and ceremonies. In the past, they have posed as gods. He says that they interfere in the channelings in 90% of the cases, and they are interdimensional beings, that is to say that they can move from one dimension to another. He says that they have put control chips in human beings. With them, they are able to know what we think several light years away. Each individual must be aware of what is happening. But apart from all this, what interests us most is to know who catches the soul before dying. To this question, Parker answers, the soul is trapped, and then they erase its energetic memory and then send it to Earth to reincarnate again. This is a prison planet. We are here to supply energy to the reptilians. In the movies, they show us a white light, and that is the trap. You must not go towards the light, you must go to the opposite side. And you must say, I want to go back to the source. Those who have come back to life telling that they have seen a white light, they have been tricked. It's all set up. It is a fabricated experience. The New Age movement came about to divert people from looking inside themselves and seeing reality. Also, Simon Parkes affirms that the reptilians claim to come from the fourth dimension and that we are in the third. He defends that the extraterrestrials that resemble mantises pretend to help us, but this may not be entirely true. Of course, there is no doubt that the reptilians, draconians, insectoids like mantises, and all other beings that try to dominate our minds and deceive us are of lower dimensions than ours, but they want us to believe that they are superior, and so we believe it because they have a more advanced technology, but we have something they do not have, the soul. Is it possible that these beings are those that the Gnostics called the archons? For them, the archons were psychic parasites that controlled humanity. We are creators. With our thought and heart united, we are able to create all the good and bad that exists on Earth. And they know it. That is why they manipulate our mind and deceive us, because when we are sad, we create negativity around us and on the planet, and the opposite when we are happy. It may be that all this is being demonstrated by Calogero Grafassi through regressive hypnosis. His hypnosis is very different from all the others. It goes much further. When, in a hypnosis session, a supposed being of light appears or a being who claims to be a relative, he makes the hypnotized person touch him, and through the DNA he makes him reconstruct his true form. And in most cases he turns out to be a reptilian, an insectoid, or any other being of low vibration, but certainly not who he claims to be. We could think that it is the imagination of the hypnotized, but it is striking that all, more than 1,000 cases, coincide in the existence of these beings and their great manipulation. As it is extracted from these regressions, death does not necessarily mean liberation. With it, neither control nor deception may end. When we die, we pass to another dimension, but those who have been controlling us in life want to continue doing it. They tell us that we have not fulfilled the divine plan and we must reincarnate again. Of course, they pretend to be wise masters of light, who make us believe that it is for our good, and they erase our memory so that we do not realize that it is all a deception. Fortunately, they do not deceive everyone. Those who are conscious and are not dominated by fear manage to escape from the matrix. That is why it is so important before we die to have overcome our fears and to be aware of who we really are, because this will make us feel in control of ourselves and we will not yield our power to anyone. When we reincarnate on this planet, we lose contact with the rest of the universe, perhaps due to the belt that surrounds the Earth. No one who wants to help us can communicate with us, nor we with them, but there is a way, and it is by coming to Earth. So there are beings who have decided to come to help, and for that they have had to reincarnate. They have put themselves in a human body, but by erasing their memory, they forgot why they came and who they are. It seems that we can only contact our jailers, who pretend to be good aliens who want to help us. Karma is only an invention of theirs. In this way we accept the guilt and, therefore, the suffering that we are going to have in this life, and that serves them as food. They feed on us just as we feed on animals. They also make experiments with humans, just as we do. We cannot say that they are good or bad. They simply lack their own light and look for it in us, because we are superior to them, although too naive and trusting. That is why they have taken over the world, and rule it through those politicians who are at their service and whom, in turn, they have deceived. They cannot interfere in our lives if we do not give them consent. That is why they use deception. And sometimes they pretend to be extraterrestrials trying to help humans, and for that they tell us that we are destroying the planet, that we are polluting it, and that it is our fault. But what really they pretend is that we harbor within us the feeling of guilt, so that we lower our vibration and, in turn, that of the planet. However, what they do not tell us is that those who are really trying to destroy the planet are those dark beings who direct the politicians who govern us, modifying the climate, moving the Earth's axis, polluting our air and our food. It is not us. The extraterrestrials who really want to help us do not interfere with human beings. They know that we will get out of the matrix by ourselves, that we do not need any help. In the Calogero regressions, it is shown that if we give them the order not to approach our energetic sphere, they must do so. Therefore, when we leave our physical body, let us remember that it is in our will if we want to reincarnate or, on the contrary, return to the source. Let us not be fooled by any false being of light, and if we decide to reincarnate, let us not let them erase our memory. The system is doing everything possible to prevent humanity from waking up and becoming conscious, but we human beings are desiring to know who we are and what we are doing here, and only the desire will lead us to achieve it. That we are dominated for a long time by non-human beings without feelings is an evidence that we cannot deny. But it is up to us to break this slavery. We know that the happier we are, and the more in contact we are with nature, with Mother Earth, the less they will be able to control us. If our fear and suffering feed them, let us not feed them and they will go away. Let us lose the fear of death because it does not exist. We are only experiencing it in a physical body. Let's enjoy life because, if we want to, it can be a wonderful experience.